It's crazy to say that almost a year ago, the pandemic completely changed our lives. And for the majority of the year, we've been locked down in our homes trying not to spread the virus. But not everyone has actually been locked down, and some celebrities were called out for traveling while we were all bored at home. I'm Mackenzie, you're watching InformOverload, and let's get into the top 5 influencers exposed for traveling during the pandemic. But before I do, I wanted to let you guys know that we are launching a new channel called Viper Girl, and if you want to see some gameplay, make sure to check it out.
Oh my gosh, I almost died. I thought you were a cactus, my friend. I thought you were a cactus. We've got iron, baby. Yes. Okay, my main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. Bro, no, I'm gonna fight you with a pork chop. No, come here. This is awesome.
In at number 5, we have Kylie Jenner. In August of 2020, Kylie Jenner was called out when she flaunted a trip to Paris on her Instagram, while the rest of the world was locked inside, leading everyone to accuse her of being above the law. The backlash started when Kylie started posting pictures of her and her friends around Paris. At first, people thought the pictures might be throwbacks, but when she started posting on her story too, it was obvious she was traveling. Many people were wondering how she could travel because at that time, many countries were banning Americans from entering their nations, France being one of them. After all the outrage, it was revealed that Kylie was allowed in the country for a business exemption trip, with a source telling E! News that Kylie had meetings with cosmetics company Coty that week, and had even spoken to the company's CEO, Peter Harf, about a business opportunity. But with all the pictures she took with friends, it looked like she was lounging around for most of the trip, but of course, we really can't expect her to take pictures of her meetings either, right? The insider claimed further that Kylie was going for business reasons and brought friends to make a trip out of it. The US Embassy website confirms that the French government only allows Americans to visit the country at the moment on, quote, rare occasions. And of course, a public trip like this is gonna create a lot of outrage on Twitter, with one user tweeting out after, quote, Kylie Jenner going to Paris during COVID while the rest of the world can't travel or visit family in other countries / states due to border restrictions just doesn't sit right with me. Then another more bluntly said, quote, can someone explain why Miss Kylie Jenner is allowed to travel to Paris in the middle of the pandemic while the borders are closed? Meanwhile, I'm dating a guy who lives in Australia and I can't see him until July of 2021 at the earliest. Eat the rich and leave no crumbs, I'm tired. Next up at number 4, the D'Amelio family. The D'Amelio sisters, along with some of their other TikTok friends, decided to take a vacation to the Bahamas for New Year's Eve. According to the TikTok Room's Instagram account, Charlie and Dixie were with Noah Beck, Chase Hudson, Maddie Moore, Avani Gregg, Anthony Reeves, and photographer Bryant. After the group started to get heat from the posts, the D'Amelios and Greg stopped posting online, but some of the other members of their crew didn't seem to care and still posted anyways. From all the posting, we could see that the group was vacationing at the Atlantis Hotel in Nassau, Bahamas, where people could not enter without a negative COVID-19 test, according to Atlantis' website. And even though fans were mad at everyone in the group, most of the hate went towards Charlie, because only a few days before her trip, she was actually on Instagram Live lecturing people on why they should be social distancing, saying in that live, quote, if you're using this time to hang out with your friends since you don't have school, please, I'm asking you, please stop being so inconsiderate to others. You may think this isn't going to affect me or it isn't that bad, but you are putting other people at the risk to get hurt and be in pain, which is obviously extremely hypocritical. And when Charlie got back from vacation, it was clear in her new TikToks that she had an obvious tan that she was not addressing. And in her recent TikToks, the comments of the post were basically just roasting her for not addressing the scandal and trying to hide her tan. And it's one thing to quietly travel during a pandemic, but it's totally another to go on live days before, lecture your followers about traveling, and then literally do that exact thing days later, and then still post it. Like, just wild to me. And at number 3, the Ace family. The Ace family got tons of backlash after they revealed that they are moving to Mexico in the middle of the pandemic, leaving LA to move to a whole different country. And the video they posted to announce it made things even worse, as it was abundantly clear that the family had an insane amount of privilege to do such a thing. First, they flew their immediate family along with some other family members on a private jet, and while on the jet, they were eating lavish snacks and meals. Then the rest of the video was them showing off their huge Mexican mansion, how close they were to the water, and them dancing and drinking. And of course, the reaction to that video was awful. So the family ended up disabling comments on that video, and it has 5,000 dislikes as of now. But the family clearly didn't care about the negative attention from the video, as they posted another Mexican vlog a few days later. And Twitter account Def Noodles captured some of the negative comments before comments were removed off the video, and it was pretty much just flooded with people calling out the family for their travels and reminding them how we are in a pandemic and telling them how irresponsible they are being. And I honestly doubt they will address the scandal, as it's not even close to as bad as some of the other scandals they have been in and didn't address. They'll probably just stay in Mexico until the whole pandemic is over, honestly, and just hope that everyone forgot when they come back. And at number 2, James Charles. James Charles was called out in October of 2020 for traveling to Hawaii from his home in LA, and according to the government, Americans are able to travel there, but only for work or if it's urgent in some way. Also, the Hawaiian government stated that there is a mandatory 2-week quarantine period for all travelers entering the state, and that was only lifted if the traveler tested negative before entering. James also flaunted the trip on social media, posting to Instagram and TikTok. But James was hounded in the comments for the trip, with people calling him out for the unnecessary trip. A Hawaii resident even made a TikTok calling James out, with him writing in that video, quote, "So anyone want to give me a good excuse as to why James Charles is here during a pandemic on an island with only 24 critical care ICU beds?" That TikTok is now deleted, but it made James respond to the backlash. One user asked James on Twitter, quote, "Did you get your negative test result before coming on the plane during the pandemic, or are you just going to endanger the people of Hawaii too?" And James responded back, quote, "Yeah, before the plane and after landing too," then showing a negative COVID test. But this was not James's only feud related to travel. He also got into it with OG YouTuber Jen X Pen, who made a sub-tweet to all the YouTubers traveling, with Jen saying in her tweet that the YouTubers who are collabing with others should feel so much guilt for doing so and that they're boring. Since James thought Jen was referring to him, James clapped back with a simple "Dis you?" including a screenshot of a video from a month ago where Jen was collabing with other YouTubers, making her seem pretty hypocritical, with James adding that he is not innocent, but that she shouldn't have called out other YouTubers when she's done the exact same thing. James ended up deleting the tweets because he claims he didn't want to fight, but Jen ended up responding later that she did do 1 collab, while James had done 5 in just the month of December. And finally, at number 1, Kim Kardashian. Kim K and her family were at the center of a ton of backlash in October of 2020 when Kim flew 50 people out to a private island in Tahiti to celebrate her 40th birthday party without the fear of coronavirus. In the post, she wrote, quote, "After 2 weeks of multiple health screenings and asking everyone to quarantine, I surprised my closest inner circle with a trip to a private island where we could pretend things were normal for just a brief moment in time." After the scandal blew up, sources said that Kim wasn't too bothered by all the backlash, with that source saying, quote, "She sees celebs have a birthday party on a beach in Malibu and it's fine, but because she has the means to safely transport her family, she's torn down for it. The party was amazing. It was just family and Kim's closest friends, really just her core group." Chloe, who had COVID in the beginning of the pandemic, also supported Kim on the Ellen show, saying, quote, "This year is a frustrating year, I get it. I think there's so many frustrations going on for everybody, but also it's her 40th and this is something that she really wanted to do. For us, it was such a nice thing." Kim even apparently spent $1 million in total on the trip, and she stayed at the Brando Resort, Marlon Brando's private island, which is known as one of the finest eco-friendly resorts in the world. Some of the negative comments on her post read things like, quote, "Nobody in this family could read a room if their life depended on it," with another adding, quote, "LMAO, reading this as half of my office got laid off today." But I did also see a lot of people saying that they would have done the exact same thing if they had the money to do so. So I'd love to hear your opinion on this one, especially below. So that's all for the list, guys. What are your thoughts? You know, on the one hand, I do think that Kim did her trip safely and she made sure that, you know, her nor her family had the virus and didn't spread it. But for the influencers that are literally just hanging out with everybody, collabing, you know, they definitely deserve some backlash, especially if they're posting it to their social medias and potentially influencing their fans to do the same thing. Like, that's what really bothers me the most personally, is when people are posting it. It's like they just need to like brag if they're traveling so badly that they would rather post it and be able to brag about traveling and still get the backlash than just like not post it and not face any backlash. Just so strange. But before I head out, I'm gonna shout out some comments from my video on Cole Kerrigan. So Salem, the dire shipper, said, I wouldn't be surprised if he faked it, as it seems his Kimmy's situation got a lot of attention, seeking people out from their mansions. Yeah, I mean, he is a known liar. I said that in the video, like, we can't fully trust what he said, but I mean, he showed texts with his bodyguard clearly talking about, you know, Kanye, and then he signed an NDA, and then he also got sued by that same bodyguard. So I mean, if you're connecting the dots, I mean, clearly he has some information. Then Rotten Matai said, this Cole guy is horrible. He doesn't deserve any platform. We already have one Jeffree. Honestly, he's extremely similar to Jeffree. I feel like he's probably like playing that up, honestly. Then The Truth said, all this stems from a chick that licked a toilet seat for clout. People please consider the source. Extremely valid. Ava Louise, you know, she can't be trusted. She literally just wants clout all the time. Doesn't make her a liar in this situation, but it makes her, you know, probably a liar. All right, guys, that's all for the video today. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you made it all the way here, if you liked the video and want to see some more, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel below. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and I will catch you all in my next one.